You're asleep. Then you're not. Something's breathing right outside the cave. Heavy. Close. A thing that weighs almost 1,000 pounds and stands taller than you do when it rears up. Your torch just died. What now? 40,000 years ago, that wasn't some nightmare scenario. That was just Tuesday. Cave bears were massive, way bigger than the grizzlies we've got today. And somehow our ancestors made it through. Not because they were tougher, because they were smarter about the whole thing. You picture cavemen going toe-to-toe with a bear, swinging clubs like it's an action movie. Yeah, that's not what happened. Archaeologists have dug up bear bones with spear wounds clustered low, right around the legs. Nobody was dumb enough to go after the strongest part of a 1,000-pound animal. They went after the part that would take it off its feet. That's not brute force, that's strategy. But here's the real secret. It was never about the weapon, it was about timing. Cave bears hibernated, months at a time, their hearts slowed way down, their bodies shut into this deep sleep, tucked in the back of the exact caves humans wanted to move into. So you had this bizarre standoff over real estate, except only one side was actually conscious for it. At a site called Goliath Cave in Belgium, researchers found tool marks sitting right on top of bear bones, like people waited for the exact moment the bear was most vulnerable before making a move. You don't storm the front gate while the guard's wide awake, you wait till he's out cold. That right there is basically the whole playbook. And it goes further. Early humans didn't just steer clear of bears when things got dangerous. They tracked them. They learned migration patterns memorized, which dens a bear kept, coming back to year after year. That's not hunting, that's straight-up surveillance. Tens of thousands of years before anyone wrote a single word down, people were already mapping out the entire life of the scariest animal around. And once you know where something sleeps, you don't need to out-muscle it. You just need to show up first. Here's the twist, though. This whole relationship wasn't just violence. At several dig sites, archaeologists have found human remains buried with real care, sometimes right next to bear bones or skulls, positioned like it meant something. If a bear was just meat and a threat, nobody bothers doing that. Somehow the thing they feared most turned into something they respected, maybe even something sacred. Sound familiar? That's humans for you. We don't just get through the things that scare us, we turn them into a story. So what actually wiped out the cave bear? Not a spear. They went extinct about 24,000 years ago, and the best explanation researchers have is the climate shifting and food sources drying up while these bears were locked into a diet too specialized to adjust in time. Meanwhile, the humans who shared their caves fought them, feared them, maybe even worshipped them. They stuck around not because they were stronger, because they could adapt. Strength lost, adaptability won. How many times has that same exact thing played out in your life, and you didn't even clock it? You're not facing down a cave bear tonight, but you've still got things in your life that feel way too big to handle. A deadline that won't quit. A fear you don't talk about. A version of your life you want, but have no clue how to get to. And that instinct that kept your ancestors alive in the dark is still telling you the same thing it always has. You don't have to be tougher than what scares you. You just have to be smarter about when you make your move. So next time something huge is standing in the doorway of your life, ask yourself what your ancestors would have asked. Is this the moment to fight? Or is this the moment to sit back, watch, learn the pattern, until that door you thought was locked just swings open on its own? You come from people who never fought fair to survive. Maybe it's time you stop fighting fair with your own fears too. If this one got you thinking, don't just scroll past. Hit like. That's how I know you want more stories like this. Send it to a friend. You never know who needs to hear that last line today. And if you're into these deep dives on how our ancestors survived, hit subscribe so you don't miss the next one. What should we cover next? Drop it in the comments, your idea. Might end up being the next video.